Hi everyone, it's Kate. Welcome back to my channel. So I see a lot of questions and comments about what is the position of creator and what is the position of victim, and I decided to talk more about it and give you like some adjectives that will describe and maybe will help you to understand it clearer about how does it feel like and how we behave when we are victims. So first of all, I want to say that when I started this channel, my first videos, they are definitely in the position of victim, and I see it now clearly. And I sound like very depressive, very not capable of things, and I made some notes, so I will read what will feel like when you are in the position of victim. So you might get defensive, you might be submissive or over accommodating to others, passive aggressive in conflict, because it's difficult for this position to stay concrete on your values and on your needs, and because the need is there, you feel like you need something, but you're afraid to be like calm about it and protect it in a peaceful way. You start being passive aggressive because you might feel like you do not deserve it, you are not allowed to want these things, but in reality you have a need for certain things, and like you want to satisfy that need, but at the same time there is an inner conflict, and as a result you can be passive aggressive in the conflict. Depend on others for self-worth. It's when you need validation from other people to feedback you on how important you are. So by default you are already important, but you do not believe that, and you feel like you need some confirmation from the outside to like really believe it. But the trick is that you will never believe it 100% until you accept the fact that you already need it and that you're already important and your worth is there already. So overly sensitive, because it's already a lot of pain in most cases, a lot of traumatic things and feelings happening inside. Everything that comes from outside feels like 100% more than it is. So that's why you as well might be passive aggressive and at the same time very sensitive, and you even might not show it. Sometimes people go the opposite way. They start become like overprotective, and they like demand too much of people to be around them, like really careful, but the roots of it is like being very sensitive and super vulnerable, and which can lead to manipulation. People who are victims, they are the best manipulators ever in most cases, because this is the only opportunity for them to satisfy their need, because they do not believe that they can ask for it directly and be very straightforward about their needs, like I want this and I want that and this is how I want it, it's like normal for me to want it. They think that they do not believe that it's okay for them to want it, so that's why they use manipulations to find ways around it to get what they want without telling that they want it. And it could be like a really great skill that you might develop while being a victim. Angry, sometimes resentful, a lot of resentment is there because the expectation is that outside world will save me or satisfy my needs without me even talking about it, which is, if you think about it, it's funny, yeah, and not realistic. So and then like resentment is always about expectations that did not happen in reality. So we had expectation that, for example, I had expectation that my boyfriend would buy me flowers. He did not. I will give really simple example. He did not, and I didn't even tell him that I want him to buy them. And then I got resentful because, like, why you didn't buy me? It's also a way to express anger without expressing anger. So it's like a very tricky thing, because victims, they have really huge issue with expressing anger. It's not allowed, it's forbidden. And instead of learning how to express anger in a constructive way, they suppress it, and not constructive ways for it to come out, because it has to come out. It's manipulation, resentment, and all of these things, like passive aggression. It's coming out. It's just you cannot control it, because it's like steam. If you put the cover on the just give me a second, saucepan, and it's like full of steam, it will start to come out from everywhere without your control. But if you control it and put the cover just a little bit on the side, it will come all from one point where you just decided it to come out. So this is how it works with anger as well. So envious, because again, you do not believe that you deserve things, and at the same time you want them. It's there, you want them, but you believe that you do not deserve it for like all sorts of reasons. And at the same time, it creates envy towards others who allowed themselves to be vocal about their needs. Feeling unworthy, I spoke a lot about it. Feeling ashamed about themselves or their circumstances. Often like anger could be also accompanied with shame, and it mostly, I think in most cases, it's about people who suffered from like severe abuse. They tend to believe that it's their fault that they suffered from it, when in reality it's not. It's like the problem of the abuser, not your problem. But this shame, it goes with it, and it could be shame about your identity or shame about your circumstances, what happened to you. So it's like very deep topic, to be honest, and I would recommend anyone who understand that, who found themselves in this place where you understand that, yeah, you feel ashamed about what happened to you, just find therapy and find someone who will not judge you, whom you can trust, and who can help you to go through it. Like I asked one of my friends, she's a psychologist, and I asked her, she's like really great one, and I asked her, like, so what's the suggestion will be for people who are traumatized and they have issues of like staying in the position of victim and being like switching between victim and persecutor, like being aggressive or a victim. She said like the best way to find therapists who would be who would play the role of the responsible adult that they did not have in their childhood. For example, if you didn't have a father figure that would support you, be constructive towards you, like show you respect towards you and all of these things, how to be respectful to yourself, how to be supportive to you, it's better for you to find a male or male-ish psychologist or therapist who would who would give you all of those things and help your psyche to grow up to the level where you physically are. Or if you had issues with mom, and it could be both girls and boys, it doesn't matter. if you had really strong issues with your mother, like she was abusive or something like that, it's better to find a therapist who would represent the role of your mother, but in a constructive way, who would give you things that you did not receive when you were a child. And your psyche also will heal during the process and will overcome all of those stress and things that you went through, and it will help your psyche to process the traumatic experience, and then you will feel more grown up inside. Also signs of victim position is feels out of control, out of powerless. I spoke about it in the previous videos. It's like the most like biggest first thing that you have to notice. If you feel yourself powerless, if you feel yourself small, not enough, and all of that, it means your like psyche in the position of victim, and it's like the first sign. Also, if you believe that life cannot change for the better, so hopelessness, if you do not believe that there is better future for you, because in reality we do not know, chances always 50-50, like it could change in a second like this and you will have amazing life. It could never change, we don't know, but what you choose to believe, like every second we have to make choice in what we believe, what future we want to believe. If you like constantly believe that there is not going to be anything better for me, you will prove yourself that you're right. But if you choose to believe that there is something better, and every day it will be a little bit small, one small step better than yesterday, then you will start seeing those good things that are happening to you, and it will help you, like, step by step, like breadcrumbs to find a way out from the darkness where you are. And this position of powerless, helpless, sometimes like people feel helpless, like there is no help for them and they cannot help themselves. They feel like this is one of really strong things. They feel like at the mercy of unseen forces. So it's a really huge topic, honestly, because I feel like a lot of religions, they use people who are in the position of victim to manipulate them and talk about these unseen forces that one day they will be in heaven for all the sufferings. And my personal position that there is no one day when you will get relief from the sufferings. It's today. Today you can choose to make the first small step, and every day will be, it's like the process. It's not like a goal in the end of the journey, it's a process, and you have to train yourself to get out from the darkness into a good place. And this is how I live. I used to believe that there will be one day when I will feel amazing, when everything will be amazing, and it never happened. But then with time, and it made me feel so vulnerable, so powerless, because of that one day. Like, it's out of my control, I can't do anything. It just will be one day when circumstances will happen and I will feel good. But at the same time, as you can see, if you go through all of my videos from the beginning to today, you will see that I was like moving back and forth. My mood was go up and down, but at the same time, I believe that every day I can do something better, I can do something more. I started changing my beliefs that there is not going to be one day, it's today. Today you can do something, just something small for you to feel better, and like anchor that feeling. Let yourself feel that feeling when you get a little bit better. Stick to it and make it more tomorrow. Just stick to that feeling, and when you're sincerely happy, not when lying to yourself that you're happy. But actually, if you have issues to talk to people about your needs, go out there and said at least one thing, like, I don't know, bring me some water please, or I want to drink. Just said it out loud and be proud of yourself that you made it the first step. Do not devaluate it. Admit it that you had an issue, you were not able to talk about your needs, and you went out there and you said at least about the water. That's already a huge step. You already can feel more powerful about your own life, that the needs that are carried inside, they actually taking place, and you actually admitting them, and you actually like doing something to satisfy that needs. The next thing is that react with depression or shame. I think I spoke about it. Feel sorry for themselves, thinks that they like, poor me. This is the most trickiest thing I think that our brain could consume, that a lot of information from the outside and a lot of people will try to make you feel small, not even consciously, subconsciously, because it's everywhere. And you would feel like, oh, poor me, I'm a victim of circumstances, or I'm a victim of illness, or I'm a victim of a disaster, I'm a victim of war, for example, for me. But as long as you have at least some sign of consciousness, like you watching this video, it means you're already present, you're already aware of what's happening, at least at 1%. There is always a chance for you to find a way out. I used to think that I'm like, my life is a complete mess, like, poor me. I had difficult childhood. I went through terrible divorce. I couldn't find myself. I couldn't find my job, things that I want to do. I lost my father of my son, and I became like a single parent. Then I lost my house. I had to move to another country, and it didn't work out. I had to change country again, and all of this, not knowing where I'm going to sleep, what I'm going to eat tomorrow, and all of these things. And I was sitting there thinking like, oh my God, like I feel like everyone is figured out, like everyone figured it out, and I'm the only one who is lost in this life. But then I don't know, just step by step, I started like seeing that actually everyone is lost. Everyone feels vulnerable sometimes. Everyone feels this poor me thing. But the choice that people who get out from there, the choice that they make, they stop associating themselves with this victim position. They stop thinking about themselves that they are like not capable of things. Look at the people who lost their limbs and then they became marathon runners or swimmers or etc. Look at the people who lost their like mental capacities and they still were able to build families and all of that. There are examples like that. They are unique now, but they still show that we are capable of things even when we lose our abilities, lose people, lose properties, lose like everything. So until you're alive, you're capable to build the life that you're dreaming about. Just stop victimizing yourself. Stop thinking that you are not capable of things. You are, and you just have to build it up step by step, small tiny steps, but you will be able to get out from darkness. So, and there is another really important thought from the book, the TED Empowerment, the Empowerment Dynamics. Really important moment that core of every victim is a psychic death of a dream. And it's really important thing to realize that inside of this position, like the core belief of this position, the core experience of this position is a psychic death of a dream. And what does it mean? It means like a loss of freedom, a loss of health, a loss of sense of safety, a loss of any sort of identity that you had before, any a loss of reality when you were thinking that your reality is one thing and then you realize that actually your reality is different, a loss of any kind of belief. So for example, when for me, why I stuck in that victim position, because I experienced the loss of my identity when I was pregnant. I felt like I've never will be to myself ever again, and it was a huge depression for me. I was like post-pregnant depression for a really long time, like 3 or 4 years. I was going through like a loss of identity. Who am I if I'm not a mother? Who am I as a human being? Then I experienced a loss of a parent, like although we got divorced, but still my son had like a father figure. He was there, he was a good father for him, and that loss was really huge for me. And now looking back, sometimes that I'm even thankful that we got divorced, because I don't know how I would go through it if we were still together. It would be even more severe for me than I experienced it. Then the loss of my safe space, the loss of my reality. In my reality before, I would never imagine that someone can come to you and create circumstances for you where you have to leave your house and you have to be homeless, because for 2 years I was homeless. I was basically sleeping in the room of just people who were kind enough to share their space. Then I lost the huge thing that I wanted to share with you. I lost the belief that, like I said, my life will change one day. It was a huge thing for me because it was so much hope there, based on my Christian childhood. Although my mom, she claimed herself an atheist, but I found out later that while I was a little girl, she went to the church almost every weekend, and she was like really religious. Then something happened and she stopped. So it was like that belief, that hope was in me so deep, but it also caged me. Like I was like a prisoner of that hope, because it was always about someone else out there helping me out. And to lose that concept meant for me to lose so many of my beliefs and a huge part of my identity. Playing a good girl, being a nice daughter, being nice, like the perfect mom, the amazing friend, all of those things were supported by that belief, because I built my whole persona, my whole identity around that belief. And look at my hair, what's happening? Sorry. This is me. I can just randomly pop up with these things. It was just annoying for me all this time. I brought some fun into that very deep topic. So yeah, I lost a lot of my beliefs about world, about me, about relationships between people, and it was really, really tough for me, frustrating, because when I buried that idea, when I realized that it's not working for me anymore, I felt so empty, I felt so lost. Like, what now? If not like that, what now? And it took me really long time and a lot of reflection and a lot of studying, a lot of reading and listening and talking to people whom I admire to build up new beliefs, more constructive, that works for me now. So I hope this video was really useful for you and you will find answers to yourself. In the next video, I want to talk about the opposite side, like the position of creator, because the author of your life, if I can say like that, because there is some misunderstanding I see in the comments about this position, and some people asking me what do I mean under this. So I will share my thoughts in the next video, so hope I will see you there.